everyone. So today I'm going to introduce a new non-traditional machining process. Hope all of you are aware of EDM, which is commonly known as electric discharge machining. And the most important thing is that this is one of the most advanced technology that has been preferred for non-traditional manufacturing technology. Already we have studied several processes under non-conventional machining, and this is one of the most advanced process because this is basically preferred to machine the different hard material as well as advanced material which cannot be machined through a conventional machining process. And the most important thing is that in this particular lecture we are going to cover up the entire electric discharge machining process, how it is working, when it was invented, and with the passage of time, what are the development that has been occurred in this particular machining. And next we are going to study about the process parameter that affect the material removal rate of the workpiece. Well, as the same way, in this lecture we are going to divide into two different parts. So first part of the lecture will be consisting of the entire mechanism or the entire process of electric discharge machining. It will be also stating the various processes that are evolved with this particular process or the parameters that have been evolved with this particular process. And in the next lecture that will be covering what are the effect of process parameter over the machining. So without delay, let's have a look at the content. So first we are having the introduction, then there is a history, and then we will be discussing about the general aspect of EDM. Then we will be discussing about the EDM system, EDM working principle, what are the various component, applications, every process has got some advantages as well as disadvantages also. So we will be discussing in detail about the entire process in this particular content. So let's have a look for the introduction. So as I was talking that today in this particular lecture, we are going to discuss about the EDM. So before we proceed with the lecture, let's have a look in the contents. So what we are talking about, at first it is about introduction, then comes the history of electrical discharge machining. Then we will be talking about the general aspect of EDM. Then we will talk or we will discuss about the EDM system. We are going to have a look for the working principle for EDM. What are the components that are associated with EDM machining? And last but not the least, we are going to discuss about the applications, advantages and disadvantages. And the most important thing is that in this particular lecture, what we are going to talk, it's all about we are going to talk about in the first lecture about the general aspect of EDM, EDM system and EDM working principle. So now let's move to the introduction. Well, if I talk about the EDM, the first and foremost thing arises, it is the uses of thermoelectric source of energy in developing the non-traditional technique has greatly helped in achieving an economic machining of the extremely low machinability material and difficult jobs. And the process of material removal by a controlled erosion through a series of electric spark, which is commonly known as electric discharge machining. So somewhere it has been told that sometime it has been referred to as a spark machining. As I've already told, the entire machining is occurring with the help of the spark, because we are using the thermoelectric source of energy. And then the spark eroding is occurring, burning is occurring, die sinking or wire erosion is also associated with this particular process. Well, it is a manufacturing process where a desired shape is obtained and that's too by using electrical discharge, which is commonly known as your spark. And the material removal from the workpiece, it occurs by a series of rapidly recurring current discharge between the two electrodes. And these two electrodes are basically separated by a dielectric fluid and is subject to an electric voltage. Well, when we are talking about the two electrode, as I have mentioned here, two electrode. The first one is one electrode. It is considered as your tool electrode, or it is known as tool, or it is known as electrode. Whereas the other electrode that we are considering is basically workpiece electrode, which is generally termed as workpiece. A distance between the two electrodes is reduced because the current density becomes greater than the strength of the dielectric. And at least to some point, this is the reason for breakdown. Next, we are going to talk about the history, that when and how this electric discharge machining has come or associated with the non-traditional machining process. So if I look in the age of in the year 1770, then the English physicist, that is Joseph Priestley, who studied the erosive effect of electric discharge. Further, Priestley researched the EDM process and was invented by two Russian scientists. One is Dr. B.R. Lazaruk and Dr. N.I. Lazarenko in the year 1943. Now, in their effort, basically, the destructive effect of an electric discharge, they developed a control process for machining of metal. And their initial process used a spark machining process named after the succession of spark, which is commonly known as electric discharges. And that took place between the two conductors, which is basically immersed in a dielectric fluid. Now the discharge generator effect used by this machine, which is commonly known as the Lazarenko circuit, and it was mainly used for many years in the construction of the generator for electric discharge. Next, what happened? That is, the new researchers entered in the field, and their contribution is also up to the mark. And even you can see that fundamental characteristic of machine which are known today, that was invented by them. If I go through the year in 1952, then the manufacturer Charles, who created the first machine using the spark machining process and was presented for the first time at the European Machine Tool Exhibition, which was held in the year 1955. In the year 1969, the AG launched the world's first numerically controlled CNC wire cut EDM, which is commonly known as WEDM. Next, Shibu developed the first CNC wire EDM in the year 1972, and the first system was manufactured in Japan. Recently, the machine speed has gone up by 20 times. You can see whatever may be the speed right now, it is 20 more times the speed has gone up. And this has decreased machining cost at least 30%. Because if you're getting increase your machining speed, that means your machining cost is also getting reduced, because the machining time they are considering is also less. And thus, it improved the surface finished by a factor of 1.5. So we can see that how the upgradation is occurring in case of CNC wire cut EDM, or even we can talk about the EDM process. Now we are going to have a look for the general aspects of EDM. What is the first aspect? That is, EDM is a machine. EDM is the machine, or you can say it is a machining method that basically or primarily used for hard metal or those metal which are very difficult to perform machining in any traditional machining process. As I've already discussed in my first lecture that why we are preferring the non-traditional machining than the conventional one. The one and foremost reason is because the non-traditional machining is able to perform their working function with the product or with the material that cannot be machined through a conventional one. Now EDM basically, or you can say typically, works with the material that are electrically conductive. All the methods of machining insulting ceramics with EDM has been proposed. And most important thing is that EDM can cut intricate contour or cavities in hardened steel without the need for heat treatment to soften or to reharden them. So you can see this is a very good aspect of EDM. Now this method can be used for any other metal, or you can say about the metal alloy. And basically the machining is preferred for the material that are titanium, Hastelloy, Cover and Inconel. So guys, from here you are able to see that how this is affecting everywhere, in what manner it is affecting, so that from that here you can understand what are the uses you can prefer for EDM, for which material you are going to prefer. Next, what has been told is that some other application of this process that is used for or to shape polycrystalline diamond tool have been also reported. Now you can see this is a basic EDM system, isn't it? This is a basic EDM system where you are using what? Now few of the things. One is power supply, isn't it? You can see this is a power supply. There is a servo control. This power supply, what they are using, there is a rectifier, there is a current control, and you can see this is a movable electrode. And this movable electrode is occurring, and this is a tank which is basically consisting of your dielectric fluid. And this is your workpiece. This is your workpiece which is there associated. So what we are doing is that power supply is there, servo control is basically controlling the entire movement of this particular movable electrode, and there is a workpiece is there, and dielectric fluid is also there, which is basically filling the gap between the electrode and the workpiece to generate the spark, and this spark is helping to erode the material from the workpiece to give a proper shape. So if I talk, then the most important thing is that the basic system or the basic scheme of the electric discharge machining is already illustrated in this particular figure. When a discharge takes place between 2 points of the anode and the cathode, between the 2 points between the anode and the cathode, the intense heat generated near the zone melt and evaporate the material in the spark zone. So this is basically the spark zone. Okay. For improving the effectiveness, the workpiece and the tool are submerged in a dielectric fluid, which can be hydrocarbon or mineral oil. And it has been observed that if both the electrodes are made up of same material and the electrode connected to the positive terminal generally erodes at a faster rate. And for this reason, the workpiece is normally made the anode. A suitable gap, which is known as the spark gap, Basically, this is a spark gap. This electrode and this electrode, you can see this is the minimum gap that is known as a spark gap. And it is maintained between the tool and the workpiece surface. The spark are made to discharge at a high frequency with a suitable source. Since the spark occurs at the spot where the tool and the workpiece surface are the closest, and since the spot changes after each spark because of the material removal after each spark, and the spark will travel all over the surface. Thus, it results in a uniform material removal over the entire surface. And finally, the workpiece conforms to the tool surface. Thus, the tool produces the required impression in the workpiece. And the most important thing is that to maintain the predetermined spark gap, a servo control is basically used. So you can see already I have told you about the servo control. It is basically used to maintain the predetermined spark gap. The gap is sensed through the average voltage, and this voltage is compressed with the present value, or you can say preset value. The difference is used to control the servo motor, and sometimes there is a stepper motor basically which indicates or the control the servo motor too. Of course, for very primitive operation, a solenoid control is also possibly preferred, and with this machining becomes extremely inexpensive and simple to construct. So what is the frequency of the spark which we should have? That's range lies between 200 to 5 lakh hertz, and the spark gap should be maintained of order 0.025 to 0.05 millimeter. The peak voltage across the gap is also kept at a constant range that should be between 30 to 250 volts, and MRR up to 300 millimeter cube per minute can be obtained with this process, and the specific power begins of the order of 10 watt per millimeter cube per minute. And the most important factor is that the efficiency and the accuracy performance have been found to improve when a forced circulation of the dielectric fluid is provided. And the most commonly dielectric fluid that is preferred is always kerosene. And the tool is generally made up of brass or a copper alloy. So particularly from this particular figure, you are able to see that what are the things that are associated with this EDM system, what are the important factors that are associated with EDM system, and what are the things that are also associated with this particular system. Now you can see I've already mentioned you several things, so you just have a look here. What are the things that we are talking? It is constant gap. It is very essential, and that is maintained with the help of the servo mechanism. And this is your EDM machining chamber, and this EDM machining chamber is basically associated with the dielectric system because it is very essential. So this dielectric system are of various types that we are going to study in our next slide. And there is a flushing mode, because flushing mode is always helping you to remove the eroded particle that is already present between the two electrodes. Now this EDM machining chamber is basically operated with so many parameters. What are they? Let's have a look. That is open gap voltage, waveform, power supply, pulse current, and pulse on time. So we are going to discuss about all this particular parameter in our upcoming slide. Now as we are talking about the EDM component, As I have told, what are the main components? That is electrical power supply, because if there is no power supply, then how the spark will be generated? Next is the dielectric medium, because between the spark gap there should be a dielectric medium that will help to generate the plasma or the spark to remove the metal in the form of vaporization or erodation. And the last but not the least, that is the workpiece and tool servo control unit. So as I've already told about the so many parameters, but these are the most main components that are associated with your EDM. Now the workpiece and the tool are basically electrical connected, and that is also through a DC power supply. And I was talking about the current density. It should be between or of order of 1000 ampere per centimeter square. And what I was talking about power density, it should be 500 megawatt per centimeter square. And the gap, which is commonly known as the spark gap, and the range should vary from 0.05 millimeter to 0.05 millimeter, and is maintained between the workpiece and the tool. Next is the dielectric slurry is there, which is forced through the gap at a pressure of 2 kg per centimeter square or lesser. So already have explained the working principle in the setup itself, but still let's have a general view about this one. What are they? First is, it is the process of metal removal, and it is basically interrupted electric spark discharge, and that occurs between the electric tool and your workpiece. So you are already aware of the fact. Next is that the EDM, which is basically is having a potential difference, and that is applied between your tool and workpiece. What are the essential things? That is the tool and the workpiece material. They both has to be an electrical conductor. The tool and the work material are basically immersed in dielectric medium, as already discussed. And I have also told that kerosene or deionized water is basically preferred as your dielectric medium. And there must be a gap maintained between the tool and the workpiece to generate the spark. And depending upon the applied potential difference, that should be between 50 to 450 volts, and the gap between the tool and the workpiece, an electric field will be generated. Generally, you have to remember that is the tool is always connected towards the negative terminal, which is known as the cathode. And your workpiece is always connected towards the positive terminal, that is called the anode, to get more material removal. Next, as the electric field is generated between the tool and the job or the workpiece, the free electrons on the tool are subjected to electrostatic forces. Next is that if the bonding energy of the electron is less, and the electron would be emitted from the tool. Such emission of the electrons are also called as cold emission. So this is a very important term, that is cold emission. And the cold emitted electrons are then accelerated towards the job through the dielectric medium. And as they gain the velocity and energy and start moving towards the job, there will be a collision between the electrons and dielectric molecule. And such collisions will result in ionization of the dielectric molecules. And later you can see that ionization basically depends on the ionization energy and the dielectric molecules and the energy of the electron. So you can see that from this working principle, the most important factor that is associated is your cold emission, that we cannot overlook, because it has a very important role in the entire machining operation. As the electrons get accelerated, that is, you can talk about the more positive ion and electrons, they would get generated due to collisions, and this cycle proceed would increase the concentration of your electrons. And the ions in the dielectric medium between the tool and the job will help to generate a spark. The concentration would be so high that the matter existing in that particular channel will be characterized as plasma. And this plasma channel is basically helping you to remove the material. And the electrical resistance, that is the plasma channel, would be very less also. Thus, all of a sudden, a large numbers of electrons will flow from the tool towards the job and ions from job towards the tool. And this is basically called as avalanche motions of your electron. This is also very important term. It can be asked in your question that what do you mean by avalanche motion of the electron? What is known as cold emission? So this is very important term that is associated with EDM machining. Now, such movement of electrons and ions can be visually seen as a form of a spark, because you will be able to see only the spark while you are performing the machining. Thus, electrical energy is dispatched as the thermal energy of the spark. Now we are talking about what? Now high-speed machining. That is, high-speed electron then impinges on the job and the ions on the tool. The kinetic energy of the electrons and the ion on the impact with the surface of the job and tool respectively would convert into thermal energy or heat flux. And such intense localize the heat flux, and you can see the temperature would be in excess of 10,000 degrees Celsius. And such localized extreme rise in temperature leads to the material removal. Basically, the material removal occurs due to instant vaporization of the material as well as due to melting, as I have already mentioned. And the molten metal is not only removed but completely, or it can be done partially with the help of the flushing system. Now this is the working principle of EDM as I have already discussed. You can see this is the voltage. So you can see just straightforward. It is getting straight, then it's like that way. Then it is maintaining a gap. Again it is getting raised, again following down a gap. So what I was talking that in the working principle, that how you are able to see this is the voltage and this is the current. What it is occurring at the particular point, that it is getting raised, it is getting down, again it is getting raised, it is getting down, again it is getting raised, it is getting down. In case of current, you can see the same thing. And here you can see there is a tool that is always connected to the negative terminal, workpiece always connected to the positive terminal, that is the anode. There is a dielectric fluid and there is a spark generated. This is the spark gap, and the material removal occurs by melting or erodation. You can see this is the EDM schematic diagram, and you can see this is the servo control feed which is helping to maintain the electrical spark gap. This is the dielectric fluid is there, and you can see this is the filtration is occurring, pump is there that is helping to get the fluid here. This is the fixture which is basically holding your workpiece. This is the DC pulse generator is there, and you can see separately it has been shown how the spark is occurring. Now already we have discussed about the EDM principle that has been mentioned here in a summarical ways. Now let's have a look at the EDM principle with the help of the spark. You can see this is the tool. This is basically your tool. This is your workpiece. And you can see this is basically the spark gap. And here you can see the dielectric fluid is there flowing. There is a vapor is occurring. So this is the crater that has been generated with the help of this iron. And you can see this is particularly the heat affected zone. Here is the liquid that is present, liquid metal, and this is basically get removed with the help of flushing system. So as we are talking about the EDM power and control circuit, you can see there are first category, what are the main parameters that you have to choose to set up are resistance, the resistor, the capacitance and the capacitors. And current delivery in a discharge is associated with the charge accumulated on the capacitor at a certain moment. And little control is expected over the time of the discharge, which is likely to depend on the actual spark gapping condition. Advantages is there that an RC circuit generator can allow the use of short discharge time more easily than any pulse control generator. Now open circuit is also preferred. What is this open circuit? That is the voltage between the electrode when the dielectric current is not broken. And it can be identified as a steady state voltage of RC circuit. The generator, which is based on a transistor control, that is usually able to deliver the train of voltage plus to the electrode. Each pulse, that is pulse on time or pulse of time, it is basically controlled in shape for instant and quasi-rectangular. The amplitude of each pulse consists of the open circuit voltage. And if you want to have the maximum duration of discharge, then it is equal to the duration of your voltage pulse, or it is also known as pulse voltage. And maximum current during a discharge that is generator delivers can also be controlled. So you can see that power and control circuit, so many things are there and they can be controlled by one another process. EDM power control and the circuit, as I've already told, you can see a framework of definite and measuring of the electric spark parameters during EDM operation is directly one inter-electrode volume with an oscillation external to the machining, which has been recently proposed by Ferri researcher. And the most important thing is that the machining different material in the same set of condition is basically the actual electrical parameters that are very much significantly helping them to perform the operation. And this is the thing, you can see the variation of the voltage with using RC generator. You can see this is the charging time. This is termed as the 1 cycle. This is the discharge voltage. This is varying from voltage, and this is with respect to time. And the series of voltage plus that has been mentioned here in the figure is basically between 20 to 120 volt, and the frequency is order of 5 Hertz. And basically it is applied between the two electrode, that is the tool and the workpiece. As we have already talked about the pulse off time, pulse on time, and this is the one complete cycle. You can see this, the total, that is including on time and off time, and this is the peak current, that is the maximum current, and you can see this is the average current that has been maintained. So this is nothing but current varies with time. It is a typical EDM pulse current trend for controlled pulse generator that has been shown here. How voltage and current wave form during the EDM. If I talk about the voltage, you can see how it is getting, then coming here, then getting ionized, then breaking down. Spark voltage is associated here. Breaking down is occurring, ionization is also occurring. But if I vary the same thing with the help of current, you can see a steady is occurring, then a spark energy is occurring. Again constant, then again it is getting peak current, then comes the average, and this on. So this is current varies with time. This is voltage varies with time. How the basically wave are formed during the EDM process with the help of this current and the voltage. This is also same thing, that is the RC type generator. How the period charges, that is this is the charging time, and you can see this is the full erosion time that is occurring here in this particular portion. And after erosion is occurring, this is the discharging time. So in this way, this gap is forming for current, and for voltage you can see the same thing. This is the charging time, this is the release time, and so on. Now if I talk about the electrode material, as I've already told that electrode material, it would not undergo any tool wear when it is impinged by positive ion. So this must be one of the characteristic. Next is the localized temperature raise has to be less by properly choosing its property, or even when temperature increases there should be less melting. So this should be the property that should be kept in mind before selecting any electrode material. Further, the tool should be easily workable, as intricate shape geometry features are also machined in EDM, so that you can give a proper shape to the EDM tool. And now what are the basic characteristics of EDM material that should be? It should be highly electrical conductivity, and it should be highly thermal conductivity. Why electrical conductivity? Two electrons are cold emitted more easily, and there is a less bulk electrical heating. That's why we prefer high electric conductivity. And why we prefer thermal conductivity high? For the same heat load, the local temperature it should raise would be less due to faster heating conducted to the bulk of the tool and less tool wear. So these are the two properties that we should keep in our mind while selecting an electrode material. Now we will be talking about the higher density. Why? Because for less tool wear, the less dimensional loss or inaccuracy of the tool is required. It should be having a high melting point because it will lead to least tool wear. Because that is one of the most important points, because your tool is helping to erode your workpiece. And the most important thing, the material should be such that it can be easily manufacturable. And of course, the cost of the material should be cheap too. What are the common materials that are preferred in the industry? First and foremost is graphite. Second is electrolytic oxygen-free copper. Next is tellurium copper, which consists 99% copper and 0.5 tellurium. Last but not the least, it is preferred brass. Brass are basically preferred for machining in most of the industry. As I have already talked about the electrode material, so that's I have told graphite is most commonly used because it has fewer wear characteristic, easily machinable. A small flash hole can be drilled into graphite electrode. I mean to say it can be drilled by your graphite electrode. Copper has a good EDM wear and better conductivity. So about all the material I have told you the good features. And it is generally preferred because it provides a better surface range. That is 0.5 micron meter. You can see how good the surface quality is obtained by using this type of material. Next we are talking about the copper tungsten and silver tungsten, and for this you can see it is used for making deep slot under poor flushing condition, especially in tungsten carbide too. It offers high machining rate as well as low electrode wear. Copper graphite is also preferred for having a good cross-sectional electrode. It has better electrical conductivity than graphite while the corner wear is higher. That is one of the drawbacks. And brass is much more preferable because it ensures stable sparking condition, and it is normally used for specialized applications such as for drilling small holes where the high electrode wear is acceptable. Thus brass is preferred in this particular condition. So as I've already told about that electrode rotation helps you to solve flushing, and it has been encountered with machining your small hole in EDM. Additional type of things, that is to increase the cutting speed, the quality of the hole to be produced is superior to that particular obtained by a stationary electrode. And what should be the size of the electrode? It should be of a radius of RV 2.54 millimeter. That should be maximum. And the electrode orbiting improves flushing and by creating a pumping effect of the dielectrode through the gap. So this is the tool erode you can see, and this can see the final shape. This is the basically final shape, and this is the corner where you can see this how it is getting eroded. And this particular thing is your side wear, and this end wear is this is the thing, and this is the actual surface of your tool. This is the end wear. This is the end wear. So corner wear ratio basically D by LC. D is your machining depth and LC is your corner wear. So corner wear ratio is what? D by LC. So side wear ratio is D by LS, side wear. End wear ratio is machine depth by your end wear. And what is the volume wear? That is VW by VE. What is VW? Volume of the workpiece removed and volume of the electrode consumed. If you want to have no wear EDM, then the electrode to workpiece wear ratio should be 1% or less. And basically electrode wear depends on number of factors like voltage, current, electrode material and polarity, as I have already discussed earlier. And electrode wear have been more pronounced effect when it comes to micro machining application, because whenever you are doing any complex shape and that is to micro machining level, your erode rate will be more effective. And the corner wear ratio always depends upon the types of electrode that you have preferred. And the low melting point of aluminum is associated with the highest wear ratio too. So you can see that various metals have been named here, and what are the electrode wear comparative wear ratio that has been shown with the help of this particular graph. So aluminum, you can see the wear ratio is the maximum you are obtaining. Then comes zinc, then come brass, copper, steel, graphite, copper tungsten and silver tungsten. So this is the formula that has been given to get the wear rate of the tool. And I is your EDM current and T suffix T, it is the melting point of the tool electrode, that is always preferred in Celsius. And this TR, it is nothing but the ratio of the workpiece of the tool electrode melting. So as I've already talked about the dielectric, you can see basically it is due to the thermal and evaporation melting. The machining occurs in EDM. As thermal processing is required, and that is in the absence of oxygen, so that the process can be controlled and oxidation can be avoided. Because oxidation always leads to poor surface conductivity, which is not a good requirement of a product. Dielectric should be provided an oxygen-free machining environment. And so it should be ionized when electrons collide with its molecule. Moreover, during the spark, it should thermally be resistant as well. What are the preferable dielectric that is preferred for EDM? That is kerosene and deionized water. So what are the dielectrics medium we are talking? That is the tap water cannot be used as it is ionized too early and thus is breakdown due to presence of salt and impurities. So we cannot afford tap water. And dielectric medium is generally flushed around the spark zone. It is also applied through the tool to achieve the efficient removal of molten metal. What are the three important functions that is associated with dielectric medium are: number one, it insulates the gap between the tool and work and thus it prevents a spark to form until the gap voltage are correct. Number two, cools the electrode workpiece and solidify the molten metal particle. And last but not the least, it flushes the metal particles out of the work gap to maintain ideal cutting condition. So you must keep in mind, it must be, dielectric must be filtered and circulated at a constant pressure too. So the main requirement of dielectric medium or fluid are adequate of low viscosity, high flashing point, good oxidation stability, minimum order, low cost and good electric discharge efficiency. For most of the EDM, kerosene is basically preferred and it with a certain additive that prevents gas bubbles and deodoring. Silicon fluids and mixtures of this fluid with petroleum oil have been also given an excellent result. Other dielectric fluids which are varying degree of success that include aqueous solution of ethyl glycol, water in emulsion and distilled water. So these are the properties of your dielectric fluid. You can see it has got a high flashing point, adequate viscosity, having good electrical discharge and efficiency, low cost, minimum order and good oxidant stability. oxidation stability. So this must be a good property for a good dielectric oil. So for today, there are several parameters are there, or the components that are associated with EDM is there. But today in this lecture, part 1 for EDM is up to this much, where we have already discussed the working principle, the general aspect of EDM, what are the components of EDM, and what are the factors that are associated with EDM machining. So thank you for watching my video. Please get connected with me and follow up to have a second lecture on EDM in my next presentation. Thank you.